Groove and Soul Records. Raul Perez here. We're back at it again. Thanks for joining me on my channel. This is the third video in the series that we're talking about, singer-songwriter series, of course. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Nashville numbering system. For simplicity's sake, we're going to call it the Nashville Number System. So what that is a system developed by songwriters in Nashville, and you can find a lot about it on the internet, on YouTube, I use it as a way to communicate with other songwriters, to collaborate with other artists, other musicians, and it's a way for you to be able to share chords, pass along ideas quickly and efficiently. Okay, it's based on the major scale, or the harmonized major scale. So what that means is, if we assign a number to every chord and every key. So in this example, we're going to use again the key of C. So if the key of C, we got C major, we would identify that as the 1 chord. D minor, we would identify as the 2 chord. E minor, we would identify as the 3 chord. F major, we would identify as the 4 chord. G major, or G dominant 7, or G7, we would identify as the 5 chord. Okay. A minor, we would identify as the 6 chord. And then we have this chord here, which I substitute as the half diminished chord, which I believe I demonstrate in video number 1, and that is the B half diminished, would be the 7 chord. Okay, and then those are the 7 chords in a key. And then if you think in eighths or in an octave, then C would be your next chord. But it's basically 7 chords, because the 8th chord and the 1st chord are the same chord. So let's identify 7 chords in the key of C: C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G or G7, A minor, and B diminished or B half diminished. Those are your 7 chords. Okay. So if we're playing a song in the key of C, and I wrote this song and I thought it was awesome and I wanted to share it with you, I would say, hey, you want to check out my song? I wrote this song. It has a tempo it has a rhythm that goes like this. So without really knowing any theory or having to remember anything, musicians tend to share things quickly, sometimes that way. So they'd be like, hey, check this out. I'll tap my foot. Okay. And the chords would be 1, 6, 4, 5. Or I would just call it out as, hey, you want to check out my song, 1645 in C. Okay? So if my co-writer or friend or collaborator is familiar with the Nashville Number System, they would automatically pick that up. So pause the video if you'd like to find those chords. You can do that now, but I'll continue with the video for simplicity's sake and for time's sake. So the rhythm was, here we go, in C. One more time. So that would be the tempo, which is identified by tapping your foot. Snapping your fingers is another way to identify the tempo of a song. Or you could flat out pull out your cell phone or to get a metronome app, which you can get them, by the way, for free on the App Store. You can buy one with more features. You can buy a metronome itself. You set it down, set the tempo, something you're comfortable with, and then you identify the rhythm, which in this case was okay, and then you've identified the chords. So you've outlined this song, and then you would add your melody to it, because really a song is what? A song is based on melody and lyric, which are the two components of a song that you're able to copyright or you're able to make your own, okay? Because that's your individual intellectual property. That's for a whole other video. But you could, for example, change this to a different key. That is another useful tool of the Nashville Number System, okay? So if we changed it, let's say, for example, to the key of A, and I said, same tempo, same rhythm, same chords, only now we're playing 1645, 1645 in the key of A. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So again, I'm keeping it basic. I'm keeping it simple, because that's really what this is about. It's about grasping these simple concepts, okay, and being able to share them with someone that you want to write a song with, or just being able to know your own song that you've written, but being able to play it in different keys. And we're combining the Nashville Number System with the caged system for songwriters. So we just identified the key of C, the key of A. Well, what about the key of G? And the key of E and the key of D, right? So we've done 2 keys. And we're about 10 minutes or so into the recording, and I wanted to let you know that this is something you can use as a singer as well, right? Because you're singing in a certain key, you've written your song in a certain key, you have your melody in a certain key. But perhaps you're not feeling good on a certain day, you're not able to sing certain notes on a certain day, or maybe you're collaborating with an artist who wants to try different keys to be able to add different instruments later to the track, like a producer, for example, if you're working with a producer, right? So that's the Nashville Number System on its basic level, right? So I hope you really enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the series. I kept this third video a little bit short and brief. If there's any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I'm going to leave this series open-ended. I don't want to consider it, concluded or anything like that after this third video. But remember, the Nashville numbering system is just a way to identify chords within a key by identifying the chords with their corresponding numbers. So chords 1 through 7. And that's it. It's that simple. Adding a little bit of rhythm is really cool. If you're able to come up with different rhythms. I'll grab my pick just a moment. There's different rhythms you can implement, rhythms that go back really a very long time. If you have a rhythm in mind in a song that you've heard, right? You could borrow from that, right? Because there's a lot of borrowing that goes on in songwriting, right? So if we did something like you can call that a bow diddley if you wanted to look up a bow diddley, right? And there's some pretty basic strumming patterns. pretty basic patterns. You can learn. Songwriting should be fun. Songwriting should be an adventure. And I hope you're able to grasp the cage system for singer-songwriters, the Nashville Number System in this third video, and I hope you're able to implement it and use it to help you in your singer-songwriter journey. This is Raul Perez with Groove and Soul Records. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, share it, and we'll see you in the next one.